Hello, good people, and welcome to the Amateur Hour. My name's Justin.
My name's Tyler.
And I'm the one called Junior.
Thank you to our sponsors for today, or sponsor, Lofty Cat Studios. So I wanted to get into a topic today. Actually, it's a topic that we talked about on our last podcast. Do you guys remember us talking about smartphones and how we kind of felt that it was playing into sort of a, how can I say this?
It's affecting our lives.
Yeah, it was affecting our lives, and we needed to step away. Well, recently I was actually listening to the news, and I just ran into this article because they were talking about it, and it was a study by Johns Hopkins University, and the study shows and states that teens are actually being affected by always being around their phones. They're not getting out enough. And it's actually affecting their mental health, which is it's very horrible. So it says researchers found that about 9% of participants in the study experienced only internalizing problems. So the study also covered, let's say, them sleeping next to their phones. This study also covered people constantly on their phones, like just on their phones 24 hours, sleeping next to it. And it ultimately showed that teens are starting to have, mental health issues. And it's becoming this big uproar. How do we feel about that? What do you guys think?
I always sleep next to my phone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
but, I mean, I don't use it. It's simply because the outlet is right next to my bed, and I plug it in, and I just kind of lay it next to my pillow.
Well, it's my alarm.
So, that too.
Yeah.
That's what wakes me up in the morning. Although, say I can't sleep or something, I pick up my phone and I start, watching YouTube, reading
fall
through
down
stuff.
that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and then it's like 3 hours later, 3 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. Now I need to sleep, but I didn't sleep. So I can understand how that would be an issue.
I'm always on my phone. Let me tell you. I'm on my phone for Snapchat. I'm on my phone for Instagram. I'm on my phone on YouTube. Sometimes I don't even know what to do, and I'm just scrolling up and down my phone, just back and forth.
Yeah, you exit out of Instagram, and then you open it right back up.
Yeah, I do that actually quite a bit, and I kind of feel like an idiot.
Yeah, me too. And then I keep doing it, and then I end up with a headache for whatever reason. If I'm staring at my phone too long, and I'm like doing the whole process of where I have nothing to do on it, and I'm opening and closing apps, and then just trying to find something to read, I end up with like a really bad headache after that.
I don't really get a headache, but I would say that maybe I play into the factor where sometimes you feel a little bit depressive after a while. I don't know if it's maybe situations or stuff, but sometimes in that brain of mine, I get quite sad.
I guess it depends on the content that you're going through. Because, okay, let's say you went through a breakup recently. If you're scrolling through old pictures or you're looking through text messages or social media, you're negatively impacting yourself.
Yeah.
So that could partially be where it comes from, depending on what you're doing.
Why okay, so when you guys, let's say when you were dating and you were in a relationship, when you guys broke up with that individual, did you just immediately delete all the pictures or did you save them?
Most of the time, I'll delete everything. Yeah. It's because, I don't...
It depends.
You guys aren't going to be friends after that. Come on.
Yeah,
it's going to be really weird.
Well,
it depends on the breakup. So I've had breakups where I was like, this really didn't work out, so I just delete the messages, get rid of all that, and then went on with my life. But then there's other ones where I'm like, well, I really wish we didn't break up, so I might drown on that for like a little bit and keep the messages and sometimes look back at them, or I guess if I forgot to delete the pictures, because, they're in your camera roll, so you might not think to go back, and the next time you scroll, they're like, oh, shit, those pictures are still there. That sucks. But then, I guess it depends on how that breakup went.
Yeah, well, the wound's still fresh. I could see you saving it, but eventually you just got to delete all that. It's
right.
Like, you're just going to hurt yourself at that point.
If you're 6 months down the road and you're still looking at pictures and text messages, it's time to delete.
I wouldn't say that I look at them, but I do have, let's say, pictures and text messages, and I just can't. I part with it, and not to say that I'm not over the breakup, but I'm like still stuck on that sort of situation where I don't want to delete anything. Just don't touch it. Just whatever.
Yeah, you know what also makes it hard to delete all that stuff too is because it is memories. At that point, you're just deleting your memories because you might have done something you've never done before with that person, and now you got to delete those pictures you've taken.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of sad. And you were touching on being friends and how you guys you're never going to be friends. But honestly, I think in a healthy breakup, you can be friends. I think that's a part of it.
Yeah, I overstepped a little bit there. Ideally, I think it would be nice to work it out to just be friends, but
It's
one
another
person,
thing that depends on the breakup.
yeah, one person's always going to have those feelings though, and one person is going to be over it. So that's just going to make it hard.
I mean,
If it's like a mutual thing and both of you realize, like, hey, we're not good as dating, but we were good as friends before, then you can probably work it out and make that happen. But if one still wants to date and one doesn't want to date, you're going to clash the whole time.
you wouldn't think that it's. Would you say that maybe it's a maturity thing where, like, if you're both mature in the relationship and you understand the breakup and why you broke up, that you should be friends, or?
Still, man, it's going to be the whole one has feelings, the other one doesn't.
Yeah,
If it was so easy to break up, obviously someone's not fully into this relationship.
I guess so. I would, at least for people out there, kind of give an advice when it comes to breakups that if you know it's not going to work, but you don't want to do it, yet you know that the hardest thing to do out in that situation, I would choose the hardest road to go with, and that's probably, let's say, breaking up, and that means it's the right thing to do. If it's the hardest thing to do, sometimes usually it's the right thing to do.
If something tells you it's not going to work, you're going to make it a lot harder on yourself. I don't know, let's just say for some reason it's 6 months or a year down the road and you've had these thoughts. Those are always going to be negatively affecting you every time they come up. And the longer you let that happen, the worse it's going to be in the end.
Junior, you touched on memories and how that being in a relationship, or how you have all these pictures and you take it and it's a memory now.
It's an individual memory
Yeah.
at that point. It's yours, not just like, oh, I was with her. It's the thing you've done.
But anyway, going back to what you were talking about, Junior, and memories, I'm starting to feel that phones are becoming literally a part of us, rather than it being like a tool we use every day. Because now we're capturing memories, and now we can't part with a phone.
Right. Everything you do on your phone is saved on your phone. So you open up an app, you take a picture, you text your friend. Unless you delete that, which sometimes that's the hard part, is deleting something. It's always going to be there, unless for some reason you dropped your phone in the toilet or got ran over by a car or something stupid. But as the phone's still on and you can't delete it, that means it's going to be there for you to look at again.
It's insane. I mean, it's almost like, how back then everyone kept journals and that's how they recorded history. Mm-hmm. But it's like now our phones are the recorded history.
Well, the problem is they record too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long time ago when diaries were how people kept track of their secrets or what they did that day or whatever, you wrote a little entry that kind of summed up a day or summed up an event. You closed it, you put it back under your bed, and that was just for you to go refer to every once in a while. Now, I'm going to use you as an example. Justin sends a Snapchat every 15 seconds. Maybe not that bad, but he sends a lot of Snapchats.
I got friends.
Social media, he's always on it. He's always talking to someone, and everything he does, it's on his phone. So you can pick up his phone, and you can see everything in there because he's one of those people that does not delete stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's a part of, being able to look back. And like we were saying, memories. Like now you can look back at the conversation you had with someone. I mean, I guess that's the kind of the good thing about Snapchat is usually it gets rid of it.
It's good and bad. Snapchat, it's good because if you had a bad moment on Snapchat, then yeah, it's gone. You can't go back to it. And there's things on your phone that you actually do want to save, and you going on a family vacation, or maybe the girl that you are still dating, or you plan to marry or whatever. You obviously want to save all the events that you guys had with each other.
Yeah.
But it's the problem I see with a lot of people is that they can't get rid of something. So when a relationship is over, like Junior said earlier, you want to keep your memories, because if you did something good or you did something new and you want to keep that memory, that's different. Keep the memory. But if you have, I don't know, text messages that you and your girlfriend are just having, I guess, boyfriend-girlfriend conversations, or if you sent each other nudes or something, I don't know, whatever. That's the kind of stuff that should be deleted. Like, you don't want to hang on to that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to hold on to that, so then someone gets your phone and now they know your whole personal life. And as you said, nudes, so then now know your personal junk.
Oh yeah, that can get even worse. But the thing is, all those kind of things that lead to a personal connection between you and that person, and that connection is no longer there, and it may not be mentally healthy for you to look back on it. So if you keep it, you're looking back on it, and you're putting yourself through the same mess over and over again.
Yeah, you got to start fresh at some point. Especially if you do get into like a new relationship and somehow they manage to end up in your phone and they see all
could you
that.
imagine?
Oh, it's over, man.
Yeah, all hell would break loose probably. When reading this article and figuring out, all these kids now are suffering from this mental health, I started thinking on why I'm on my phone so much. And I think it's because a big part of me doesn't like that sort of loneliness type feeling. I always have to be talking, socially engaging. And maybe that's not how most people are, but a big chunk can be.
Well, and I mean these are problems that can be fixed, but all of us have a problem where sometimes we're sitting there and we're doing nothing, or we're waiting on something. The easiest thing to do to occupy yourself for 5 or 10 minutes at a time is to pick up your phone. That's the easiest thing to do.
I guess we should probably change the topic to something a little bit lighter, because I know we've been getting a little bit deep. I want to explain, and if anything, this goes back in regards to when we were talking about recent films, so it actually goes back to episode 2. We were talking about It Chapter 2, and me and Junior, we went to go see it on Friday. And let me tell you, it was a cool experience. We got tickets early. We're ready to meet up. It was me, my brother, Junior, and his girlfriend.
And it was canceled.
No, when we went all the way out there. We got our seats. Junior met us up.
Pause. Did you know you have to reserve your seats at the movie theater now?
Oh yeah,
that is such crap.
Yeah, that's why we just got it ahead of time in that case.
I know, but you used to be able to just get the seats, and let's say you showed up half an hour early for the show. You go up in the center, wherever you want to be, you sat down, and everyone else started crowding in around you. I went to the theater one day, bought my ticket, started walking in. I didn't know, and I sat down to watch the movie, and all of a sudden people came up like, hey, you're in our seat. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm in your seat? And they're like, oh, we have assigned seats now. So I'm looking at my ticket, and I'm like, oh my God, I got a shit seat in the front, right up against the screen. I didn't even know. The guy at the counter didn't tell me nothing. So I was horrible. Like, you know what? I walked right back out and like, hey.
If they know it's not going to be like a crowded showing, they kind of don't care. They'll give you whatever.
It was crowded.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. I showed up early.
Oh, so you know what?
I sat down in the middle where I wanted.
All the seats were probably taken, so he just gave you what was left.
No, well, right. So I can't remember what movie it was, but people bought these tickets like, I guess hours in advance or whatever, and I just kind of walked in like I was coming back from work, meeting Sarah at the movies, and bought the tickets, sat down. Cool, theater's empty, no one's here yet. Kind of right in the middle, center of the screen, set back a little bit. People come up, hey, you're in our spot, blah blah blah. We had to go up to the front. I sat there for about half an hour. I couldn't sit that close to the screen. My head's looking at the ceiling to see the picture. The peripheral was terrible. I had to turn my head to see each side of the screen.
Man, that's
Worst ever. So about 30 minutes in, I got up and I went up to the counter and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to return the ticket. And I had to talk to him for a little bit. Like, I didn't know that you had to reserve the seat. So the guy was cool. He was like, yeah, just you have to reserve the seat. So go on get the app. Best way to do it is get the app, pick the seat you want, and then come in. You can sit down. So we came back to see the movie like a few days later. But I picked up my app, got right in the middle where I wanted to, like a couple hours before the movie. Got right in, sat down, and it was great. But it was like, I didn't know that. And I was like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah, that is... I think it's their way of combating, how do you say, with theater hopping, too, as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, because a lot of people theater hop. But now if you get in the wrong seat and you're trying to theater hop, someone's going to tell you to leave. Mm-hmm. And it's cool, but at the same time, I can get that
another way
sad.
it works out is, how sometimes you're sitting down waiting for a movie to start, and you see a couple of big groups come in, and now all of a sudden they have to break up their group to sit down.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like when Junior ordered the tickets, we were afraid that we were going to be... Well, I was afraid that he was going to have to sit somewhere else. But getting back to the...
Well, I kind of wanted a different seat. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little too close for my liking.
My brother chose. I don't mind that close. What annoys me is that we were sitting up by the rails for those of you listening.
Going back to our story from Friday.
Yeah, we're sitting up by the rails.
Wait, let me
okay
finish your perspective, but don't get into what was bad because I want to talk about my perspective walking in.
Oh, okay.
So you guys went ahead and sat down and all that?
Yeah, we went and sat down. We're waiting for Junior. We got there like maybe 10 minutes before you, possibly?
Yeah, maybe.
Explain what happened with you.
Okay, so we walk in. I'm trying to figure out how I use these tickets because I bought it online. You go ahead and just scan the QR code, which I thought was interesting. There's only one QR code. You don't scan multiple for 2 tickets. Mm-hmm. But we get in... And we're walking to the movie theaters, and we just see this pile of kids. And I'm looking around to see what other movies are playing by our theater. And I was just like, there's no way they're coming in here. This is an R-rated movie. Who is taking their children to go see this right now?
Yeah, so the amount of kids, that was insane. When you came and sat down,
what was it, like a whole class?
Yeah, almost.
That's what it looked like.
My brother kept calling it a field trip.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a field trip.
Was there a bus outside?
There should have been.
And there might have been a hell of a lot of soccer mom vans or something.
There you go, right?
Yeah, we were sitting, and there was just kid after kid. And let me tell you, when I mean kid, it was like 5, like 6, 7, 8, and then junior high kids, of course. But it was so annoying, the range of kids that were there. So we were annoyed by that. Junior came in. He finally,
Wait. So one more funny thing was I was walking into the theater, and I just see one of the attendants, giving me the card symbol. In my age, that card symbol means my ID. So I was like, what? You need my ID? What do you need? And I'm, already pulling it out. She's like, oh, no, tickets. Well, I guess ID's fine, too. I was like, all right.
Meanwhile, she carded, no kid that was there, probably.
Yeah.
But we were sitting there. We're waiting.
I mean, I guess that's a compliment. You look young.
I guess. Why? Okay, slight tangent. Why is it such a trope for dudes to look older, but yet girls, they have to look younger?
I don't know. I'll go to the liquor store to buy some alcohol. I never get carded. Sarah goes to get a pack of her little girly drinks. Oh, I'm going to need to see your ID. Every time.
Well, you've been looking 30 since you were
this
12.
Is true.
Yeah, he had a mustache.
In 5th grade.
Full-on mustache.
Yeah, 5th grade. It was bushy and everything, and I was like, what? I didn't have mine till 6th, 7th grade, but you way before.
I have a funny little story for that. Sorry, it'll take 30 seconds. So there was this girl, Jasmine. This was in 5th grade. She's an Indian, and we were doing Native American studies. So her mom came in because she was part of a tribe at some point or whatever, and she was explaining how everything works. She walks into the classroom. says hi to the teacher, and then out loud, "Holy shit!" And she's looking right at me, and the teacher's like, "Whoa, what happened?" "He has a mustache."
Yeah, it was strange, man. I think you were born that way.
I don't remember you like ever without it.
I know. I slightly remember. I seen one picture in fourth grade. I'm like, who is this?
I met you in 4th grade, and I probably had like the slightest amount of peach fuzz.
Yeah.
And then I didn't meet you till what, high school?
Yeah, he had him.
Or middle school?
Middle school down there.
But the middle school, that was after it's almost grown in, so it's like, that's how you guys know me.
Yeah, like if you shaved, I just wouldn't know who you were. I'd be like, who is this guy? Just get out my house. What are you doing in our podcast studio? But going back to the story.
Yeah, back to the subject.
We were sitting there anyway. Junior finally came in. He had to go through the rails because the amount of kids that were there just filled. He couldn't even get by. So we sit down, movie starts. But before the movie started, I told Junior and my brother, I said, there's either going to be a lot of laughing, a lot of clapping, or screaming. And I'm like, so just be wary. This is going to happen because nonstop kids.
And then in the end, you forgot one option, which was all of the above.
Yeah, because they did everything.
Oh my God.
And there were scenes, right, where it wasn't really scary, but I guess
they
the
had
imagery.
their phones out too.
Yeah.
That is so annoying.
Well, I think those kids were so young that they didn't have that many phones at that point.
Yeah. That's kind of sad, I guess, right? But anyway, so we're sitting there, and I told him this. I said, just be wary. We didn't know it was going to be all of the above. Let's say there was slightly scary imagery in the film, and when the kids would see it, they would just start screaming. It would be like a scary old lady's face, and they would scream randomly. And also, while the movie's going, these kids were Naruto running. Tyler, do you know what Naruto running is?
Like running in your seat?
Wait.
No.
You remember how Eugene used to run?
With his arms up.
Oh.
Out, like almost like an airplane, and he's running.
So there's kids flying through the theater.
Oh, yeah.
In front of the screen. Yeah, just one after another. It didn't stop. It was at least
During the
consistent 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Every 5 minutes, there was a kid Naruto running. And we didn't know why. I'm like, are you trying to be funny? Are you serious?
I think they were serious, man.
It was scary. I was like, what is happening? So, okay, these kids are Naruto running throughout the theater. They're screaming at the slightest things. And when it came to the scary moments, everyone's just laughing. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, and don't forget, every time there was a curse word, they felt the need to just laugh at the fact that they said a curse word,
Oh, it was
Not
so
to be
embarrassing.
a jerk, but luckily I wasn't here. Because especially you're going to see an R-rated movie. It should be a mature audience.
Exactly.
So that would be like a huge inconvenience to me and kind of ruining the movie.
Oh, it was. I wanted to go up to the people and like ask for my money back or something. Just
I would
because
have.
It was
I
that
would have.
ridiculous.
It was annoying, the amount. I told Junior that if I just push my foot a little out while they're running, maybe I can trip them.
Well, I think one of them nicked you, but was like so strong in that Naruto run, it didn't even affect them.
Dude, they were going so fast.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys didn't go up to the desk and talk to them about it because that would have been a really bad experience for me.
And that wasn't it. We had this lady walk right in front of me.
It wasn't a lady.
No, it was. Or was it a kid?
It was a kid.
Oh my gosh. Well, they were tall.
No, she wasn't that tall.
We were sitting, and they walk right in front of us. Or she walks right in front of us, and we're sitting there, and she's like, sorry. And then she proceeds to look up and say, hey, do you want a slushie? You want a slushie? And she was like saying it. We're sitting there. I'm like, what's happening in the scene? Is this an important part? What's going on here? And she's like, hey.
Meanwhile, all you see is the back of a kid's head and whispering.
Yeah, whispering super loud. She's like, what flavor you want? What flavor? And I was like, I'm going to hit you. I was like, if I just kick my foot out, maybe I just might hit her in the stomach and just shut her up. No one will see it. The theater's dark.
You just want to tap this child in the back of his knee and watch him drop.
It was so annoying. Oh, my goodness. And then when the movie finished, everyone was clapping. And I was like, oh, of course. Why are you going to clap? Why? And it was just the kids. It was a good movie. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. The first one was definitely a lot. I don't know if I could say better because they were both good, but it just I don't know, had a different effect. I guess.
I agree with you. I liked the first one a little bit more. I don't know, something about the kids in them being put against something that they can't beat.
Yeah, they had different what do you call it, motifs. So the first one was almost like a coming to age friends kind of thing, and then the next one's kind of like you're older, and I don't know how to explain it.
Now you got to stop whatever is coming your way, but now you know how to defeat it too. So I mean, it was a good film. I would say the least that it was. I would give it like a B minus around there.
A D if you count in the kids. And
The jump scares were kind of predictable. The jump scares were kind of predictable in the film. I was like, okay, well, there's going to be a jump scare here, and they just kind of recycled the same jump scares.
If you think about it, you can always predict that stuff, because there's always a little bit of, like, music,
True.
Or you see some lighting change.
But it was like the way they did it. It was almost the exact same jump scare every time, just with a different image.
Yeah, that can
weird.
get a little bit old sometimes.
So that one I would have to admit. But was it a good film? Yes, we liked it. I wanted to see it. Junior wanted to see it too. I thought it would be good to tell everyone that, it was a good film.
Very strong acting in it too. Those actors did well.
Yeah, especially like you're coming into a role and now you're trying to create that bond that you had when they were younger.
That casting was done very well. Like the kids, compared to like their adult versions,
Yeah.
I thought that fit very well.
Yeah, some of them looked a lot alike each other. And I was surprised with Bill Hader because he's a comedian. And I was very, very surprised in how serious he got and how dynamic he was able to be with his character.
I think he's one of my favorites.
I'm going to have to go see this movie.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I have not seen it
Just
yet.
don't see it on a weekend when there's children.
Yeah, so if there's a movie theater filled with kids, just return your ticket and come back another day.
But I mean, that wasn't essentially the end of our day. We ended up, like, let's say end of the day, right? Film finished, they clap, we're kind of annoyed, we're walking out, talking about all of our experiences through the theater, the kicking of the seats, the laughing, the screaming for no reason. And when we finally get to the parking lot, we part ways. I was like, all right, Junior, catch you later, see ya. I get to my car, and it is riddled with bird crap. Not just in one area. Literally, my entire car was filled, like, front to back with bird crap. And it was, like, long.
Did you park under a tree or a light pole or something?
Here's the weird thing. No. We were in the middle of the parking lot, right? And no one was like, my car was the only one crapped on. I had a car next to me. I had a car to the right, the left, and in front. No one behind, obviously. But in every car was not hit. There was no sign of bird crap on anyone's car. It was just mine.
Did you take a picture of this?
I took a video. I didn't take a picture. I took a video and I sent it to Junior right away. And I was like, what is happening? What is my life? It was on the handles. Like, I couldn't touch my handle. At first, I was like, okay.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
At first, I thought it was just a prank. I was like, maybe someone's dumped like slushy or something. Maybe someone just poured crap on. But no, it was generally bird crap.
Don't tell me you like touched it or something to find out that it was legitly bird shit.
No, I know bird crap. Like when I was then studying it and like looking into it, I was like, yeah, this is 100% bird crap, and
That is so funny. Like how does a group of birds single out one car? Like, okay, you have
That's what I said.
They don't like Nissans. Or...
I was like, what kind of witchcraft is this? I had no clue.
It might have been like an armed force. They're like, all right, we got an aerial strike coming in.
Yeah. Right? They're like, V formation. And then they just started just crapping all over my car. They're like, you know what? I feel like screwing someone's day. Are we going to hit multiple cars, Dad? And then he's like, no, we're just going to hit one. That gray car looks like crap. And they just crapped all over it. Oh, man, it was so embarrassing. I had to get a car wash the next morning. Because I was so tired, I just wanted to go home. But I walked out in the morning, and it just looked like someone threw paint all over my car. It was insane.
So I have a funny car story moment too. Me and my brother were on our way to a car show, and there's a whole bunch of traffic on one road. I can't. You remember the one train tracks we always go over to get to Walmart, where we like never want to cross them because there's always a train.
Yeah.
So that's the road we went down, but it was all backed up, and there's one road. It's like a dirt road on the side that says "Travel at your own risk." There's literally a sign on it.
Oh my gosh.
So we are in a lowered S10. That's 2-wheel drive. So it's a pickup truck, but it's lowered. It's not meant to even touch a rock road.
Oh my gosh.
So Kyle's like, well, I mean, that doesn't look too bad. So I'm like, well, if you don't want to wait for the traffic, I guess go for it. So he's like, all right. He backs up a little bit, turns the wheel, and starts going down the road. This road had holes. More like, they were holes that were probably about 6 or 8 foot deep.
So craters.
Basically. But it was like rolling hills. And all of these holes were filled with enough water that it came inside the truck.
Wow.
And Kyle is driving, and he hits the first puddle, and the truck like started to sputter a little bit because water came up to the grill. So I'm like, oh shit, you better floor it. So he was like, oh gosh. So he
Hey, you don't want to
hammers
flood
down.
the engine.
Well, if you stop in that water and it's hitting the air box,
Oh my
it'll suck it
gosh.
in, and I think that's what was happening. So he hit the gas to get the engine turning faster, and then he got over the hill, and then it immediately dropped off into another one. We had to do this like 4 or 5 times, and Kyle was like, shit, I can't turn
my
around. I
gosh.
gotta keep going. So he was like in panic mode, like just driving the truck through.
I would be afraid.
We're at a car show now, so we make it there. Everyone's got a nice car. We weren't planning to go in the show, but we are driving there. So we park in the parking lot, and everyone's got like a fancy-ish car, and we were somewhat close to this show. We got a good spot up front. His truck, it was a black truck. You couldn't see an ounce of black on this truck anymore. It was tan. There was like big clumps of mud up on the roof, like that got flung up over in like the wave. This truck looked like it just came out of the Badlands. Like absolutely destroyed, hasn't been washed yet. The carpet on the inside was soaked because the water came up over the bottom of the door. So it was flowing into the truck a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
It was so bad. He was able to clean it all out and get it all nice and pretty again, but that truck was destroyed, and we parked it in like the middle of like a bunch of nice cars.
That's so unfortunate, dude.
I mean, you had to get some like praise for that because there are a couple people that go to the car shows with like trucks. Mm-hmm. So if they see you in mud, they're probably like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, we
Right?
got a lot from it. Like when we were pulling up, this one guy's like, holy shit, what did you do? And then my brother was like, you don't want to know.
He's like, there's no dirt around.
That was it, because it was where was, somewhere in Maryville, I can't remember, but it was a big parking lot. There wasn't any mud or puddles. It didn't rain in the last few days. It's just the road we went down, it was still filled and holding water. So everyone around us like, where did you come from? Because everyone obviously got there on a street, and we took like it had to have been a road through the middle of a field, but it had a stop sign, and then on the other side it had a travel at your own risk. So it was a road, but we were like, geez, okay, so we're never going down that road again.
Yeah, no way.
At least not in a lowered pickup truck.
I had a similar situation where I had missed my turn coming back from somewhere, and I didn't really know where I was at, and then Google was just like, turn here, and I was like, all right, cool. Get in, and it's like a straight gravel road, and my car's just rocking.
Oh my gosh.
And then I got too far into it where I thought, I was like, all right, there's no point to turn around. But no, this road went further. And so the whole time my car is just rattling, shaking, and I finally get out, and I'm like, all right, let me make sure nothing's broken or anything. So I give it a nice amount of gas, and I just hear, psh. I was like, oh no, what is that? I still don't know what that noise is. Comes back every now and then, but I was so upset and just I don't know.
That's
I
so
could have
sad.
probably cried because it was my new car, so it was just
Like an air
you got a
leaking
nice
noise?
yeah, something like that. I took it to Volkswagen. I've looked into it, and I couldn't really figure out what it is. It happens a lot when it's like colder out, but I don't know.
You gotta clean your blow off valve and your
I don't have a blow off valve.
well, what's it called?
I have a diverter valve.
Your wastegate. Do you have a wastegate? You have a turbo, right? You should have a wastegate.
Yeah, but it recycles that air. It doesn't waste it. It puts it back to be reused again.
There's going to be a valve somewhere in there to let pressure out. Otherwise, your engine has a chance to run.
I don't think that's it though, because it doesn't. It's periodically, and it.
If it's dirty and it has to open for some reason and it can't close right away, next time you hit the gas, you'll hear an air leak. I don't know. Could be something to look at.
With that said, enjoy a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Justin, you like to sing, right? Give us a little something.
Hey!
You need to take that over to Lofty Cat Studios. You can record that kind of music there. They got drum kits, acoustic pianos, Fender and Martin guitars. They can help you get your music on all streaming platforms and get you some CDs made.
So I just heard something horrible. I heard Tyler likes to record his crap. Literal crap.
Yeah, he shared it with us.
I do not
On break.
I do not like to record my crap. For everyone that doesn't know,
It's not what it sounded like to us.
shut your mouth, Justin. I did this once, and
Wait.
it was because
Why do you still have it then if you don't like recording it?
remember that conversation we had earlier where we just don't delete things? It's still there.
So, fetish.
That like
Let's not even step
Go
into
ahead and-
fetish because the story started with my brother, and that's not okay.
let's go. Let's hear it.
So, I'm sitting there.
On the toilet?
I can't remember what I was doing. I was driving to work or something, but I get a text message from my brother. It's a turd just laying in the toilet bowl. So I'm like, okay, why would you send that to me? Why? Why?
Was it something he got up mid-dump and then snapped a picture?
I guess. He felt the need to send me a picture
Yeah,
of
wait a
this
minute.
turd.
Where was the toilet paper? That means he didn't wipe.
I guess he sent. Hopefully, he sent it before he wiped.
Wait,
no.
hopefully.
Sorry, Tyler, that's backwards because if he didn't wipe first, that means he just stood up with doo-doo in his crack.
Wait, and
That
then
could be. I don't know what he did.
and then if he did wipe, he's picking up his phone with some shit, some crappy hands.
Exactly.
This could all be true. I have no idea. I didn't get into it.
So there was no toilet paper. No, there was.
Just a picture.
Oh my gosh.
Just a picture of
He
a
had
turd in the water.
He had a straight peanut butter
Story
sandwich.
thickens.
Oh man.
Dude, that's a twist. I didn't really think about that. There's no toilet paper with this picture of crap.
But anyway,
Anyway, you put it,
Between-
it's gross. Because like,
between brothers, I told myself, you know what? I'm going to get back at this asshole for that. So what I did, I sat down for a number 2 at some point later. I don't know, but I picked up my phone and I went to my voice memo app. And I recorded the sound of me shitting. And then I took that clip and I sent it to my brother.
Now, here's another thing that I'm thinking of. The process of you putting your phone by your poop.
did you put it in the toilet?
Did you put it in the toilet?
Oh, no, I just held it in my lap. Like, I'm just sitting on the toilet and I just had my phone in my lap.
I touched your phone once.
It's all right.
Oh
I
man,
don't know what sort of juices came out of your crap. Was it, wait, now I need to know. Was it like watery crap that you had?
you heard the clip. You know what kind of crap that was.
I mean, it was a bloop.
You're not getting that if it's watery.
You never know after, okay?
I don't remember the details of it, honestly. It
The
was a while
process
ago.
that you had to go through to record your crap plopping, in the toilet. That's
It wasn't much of a process. It took me, like, I picked up my phone, I hit record, I did it, and then I stopped.
it wasn't a process, so you were planned, almost like a murder or something.
Oh, I 100% planned it because I wanted to get back at my brother for sending me something so disgusting.
Did you wipe before you? Oh no, you.
No, this is in real time.
Real time, just
Oh my god!
Straight out the hole into the pot.
Should have just live streamed it.
For the record, when you guys sit down on a toilet, your hands aren't immediately dirty.
Yeah, but
So me having my phone in my hand, it would have been different if I wiped my ass and then picked up
But
my
you know
phone.
how crap sometimes plops in the toilet.
Yeah,
and
did
then-
you get some splash on your phone?
Yeah, did you get some?
No, the phone was not in the toilet bowl.
I don't know if I can believe him, right?
What do you guys think I did? Hovered over the seat and held the
I
phone
don't
right
know,
next to
slid
my
it
asshole?
between your thighs and put it in the,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I was just sitting there regular,
I'm thinking your phone has like an IP rating of 68, and you didn't mind if it splashed on your screen.
You laid it on the top of the water there.
My phone should be submergible to up to 3 meters for, I think, 30 minutes or an hour?
So you were willing to drop it in the toilet.
Not to say I was willing to drop it in the toilet, because that would be absolutely gross. But if it happened, my phone would have been okay.
I like how you just went into the explanation. Yeah, it goes under like 3 feet of water and for like
No,
30 minutes.
Wait.
3 meters.
How many feet of turds can it go under?
Probably more, because a turd would be more dense than water, so it wouldn't seep into the phone as easily.
Oh, man.
We would play the audio clip for you guys, but that's traumatizing, and I would
we
not
think
do
that's
that
going
to you
too
guys.
far, so I will not.
Yeah,
put
that's
that
what
on
we
the
call
podcast.
graphic.
It was going too far, so I don't know why he felt the need to share it with us.
Yeah, I'm kind of like my brain's melting.
Junior was making some weird noises into the mic with some awkward mouth motions, so I felt the need to top that.
And to just go all out and have us hear crap.
Look,
dropping
If
in the
anyone
toilet.
knows, between us three as friends, I'm usually the one that has the least amount of limits.
That's very true.
That is true.
So if you guys are going to try to outdo me, I'm sorry.
No one.
but I
This
will
was
go-
not a competition. No one was trying to outdo you.
Yeah, I
that's-
didn't want to.
That's okay. I felt the need.
If
to
it
do
meant
the
that we had
worst.
to hear crap, there's no way in hell I would want to outdo you.
This isn't true, because Junior, actually me and Junior, when we were walking down your stairs the one day, I just let out this huge fart. Junior, next time we come in for the previous podcast, he's over here crapping his pants in the corner with some big loud nasty
Yeah, he
farts.
was farting quite a bit.
Hey, it happens sometimes.
I guess
It's
man,
natural,
you
But-
guys. It is natural.
but recording
I did not.
crap's not.
I did not do it in a confined stairwell for you to walk through and smell.
And he also didn't premeditate this
But
to
at
send
the
it to me.
same time, at the same time, it is our studio, and we're kind of
You got enough air flowing in here,
we
man.
got
We
the sound
are-
dampening foam.
You got you got the smell dampening foam.
It's gonna catch our smells, man.
We smelt it, guys. Period. End
Oh,
of story.
hold up.
His fart stunk.
And I want to go back to you trying to call this recording a memory. No, that is something. All right, if you're gonna do it, record it and then delete it after. You're not.
Yeah, that was one of the ones we're talking about. You delete it afterwards. You don't save it.
That's a
I-
Snapchat right there.
I understand what I said, but
And
I
he
also
stands by
said a lot of people don't delete things. There's a lot of stuff on my phone that should probably be deleted, but it's still there.
A lot more crap sounds, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a video in there.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
Ew.
there is definitely not a video.
I thought he was
promise.
gonna say there definitely is, but I don't want to show you guys.
No,
That would be a line.
not
that,
even one for me not to show you.
I mean,
guys.
now I would just wanted to shove like a Q-tip in my ear because that was so gross.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
felt
you
like I
guys-
had to clean myself.
But going back to the smell dampening foam, you remember what was it? Government in high school. You would go to the chair and sit on the pillow whenever you had to fart.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
That
I
was a
forgot that
thing?
was the thing.
you
yeah.
guys legitly had to do that.
I did not do that.
I think
That was all
yeah,
Justin.
That was me. Well, because I didn't want everyone to hear it, and no one was
oh,
using.
so that was like a personal thing.
Yeah, it was his own personal
The
thing.
awkward thing
Okay.
is that I believe someone did use it.
Yeah, someone was
would-
laying right on it.
I'm sorry if you got pink eye.
Could you imagine? You pick up that pillow and you lay it on the floor and you lay your head on it. The puff of air that just comes out of it.
I
just
was
smells
trying to
like
be
absolute
cordial. I was
ass.
trying to be nice.
That is literally an old fart. right there.
It's just embedded in the foam, waiting for someone to compress it.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I totally almost forgot about that.
Had some techniques back then.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be an impressive guy. You don't want to show off and be like, "Hey, look, I just farted," and everyone else see it and laugh at you.
See it? What
Or
kind of
hear
farts
it.
are you blowing, man?
Dude, if you
You need to start going to the toilet before you fart.
If you can see the cloud, one, you got superpowers with your farts. Or two, you literally just shit yourself and it missed it out of your asshole. That's bad.
Well, sometimes there comes a time where everyone has accidents. Okay.
All right, guys,
Shark attack.
we're gonna wrap this conversation up because it's disgusting.
Wait, one more thing.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
ever crapped yourself?
I have not.
You've never crapped yourself. What about you, Junior?
Sometimes
came close?
Sometimes you get the flu and you just can't help it. It wasn't any time recently. Definitely not. I didn't like the past decade, but
I mean, I can't remember from when I was like.
you were a baby, man. Come on.
Obviously, everyone crapped themselves at some point, but the last time that I can remember after I was potty trained was probably when I was like, I don't know. I can't even remember what grade. I was like really young. This was back in grade school, and it was one of those instances where you were sick
I
and
need to
you
hear this
actually
story.
crapped yourself a little bit.
So you were sick and you crapped it. Was it a sneeze, or were you just trying to?
Hey, sometimes the sneeze is all it takes.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember. Like, it was a long time ago.
Now I know.
I just know I had to have my mom bring another pair of pants.
And you guys.
No, I was at home when this happened.
I was
Because I literally had the flu and I was sick.
Oh my gosh! I never had the flu so bad where I had to crap myself.
It's just because your stomach's all jacked up, where it's just
think about it. You have a good sneeze or something, and pressure built up,
Yeah.
and just like a little bit of an accidental.
got some diarrhea and just.
You ever had to run in the bathroom, but it was a horrible bathroom, but you had to go so bad that you just had to run and sit down?
I really try to avoid that.
I try and avoid it as much
I'll-
as possible.
I'll be honest. I've never had to do that.
I don't like.
His standards are very low. What we think is a horrible bathroom is probably just like his home toilet.
Yeah, right.
My standards are not low, and my toilet is very clean, by the way.
Can you attest to this, Justin?
I can attest that it's clean, but how clean, I will not say.
What the hell? You guys got everyone in our podcast thinking I got a disgusting bathroom. It's genuinely clean.
My parents' house can be guilty of a very bad toilet because my stepdad is on some medication and he just lights that thing up so
Really?
it looks like a public bathroom.
Oh my
But I'm sure you
gosh.
clean it after.
It takes a while for him to clean it.
It's him. You don't need to clean that.
It's his toilet, so he's marking his territory. Poop is splattered on the back of the cover. I don't know if this dude's leaning forward and it's just like splashing hard or what, but it's getting on the back cover. You know, the thing that sits on top of the toilet seat?
Yeah.
He's getting on the outside of the cover.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. I've been sick, and I've had some instance where I may have gotten some poop out of the toilet, like
Whoa.
splash up on the cover or whatever. But I clean it immediately before I get out of
Oh,
the bathroom.
some splash. I was like, he's missing?
Oh no! Not like I stood up and crapped in the tub next to the toilet. That'd be terrible.
It wasn't one of those situations where you're trying to get your belt off, and before you can even squat, it's just like
I've never done that. I've never done that.
That's
and
never happened.
I hope I never do. That would be terrible.
there's been close calls where I was like, oh shit, this pants need to come off, but I usually make it. Not
I've always made it.
The
But
the
I
last-
cheeks
will
are on the
say-
pot before.
I will say if it splashed and got some on the toilet bowl ring or a little bit on the bottom of the seat, I got some disinfecting wipes and everything underneath the cabinet.
Yeah.
I've always picked up the seat and
usually
gave it a
spray
good
alcohol.
wipe down and everything before I was done.
Do you shower after? Because it sounds like you need to shower after. Or do you at least take a wipe to your back or something?
Well, I mean,
Oh, no.
I clean myself up.
The pause said it all.
I suppose. I don't know. If I'm disgusting, then yes, obviously I clean myself.
The last time I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and for a number two, I was coming out of work, and those are the worst, and because it was a long drive home, I had to drive so quick, and there wasn't enough places around for me to stop and just go use it. So I had to I ran into, there was a Walgreens, and I parked and I just ran in there because I didn't even say hi.
I feel like sometimes they're stingy with their bathrooms, though. I think last time I went to a Walgreens, it was locked.
Yeah, because it's behind one of those like employee doors.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
like, what?
depends on the area they're in.
Exactly.
true, yeah.
Which is why I didn't care. I just blasted through. I just ran. I ran past. Blasted through probably wasn't the best word, but I ran to the bathroom and I didn't care if it was the employee bathroom or not. I was like, I gotta go. It's either me or you.
I would say I used to work at Amazon, and they had buttons by the bathrooms that you pressed, and it would call a person to clean it.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So I would walk away from my station, go to the bathroom, and I would press the button. And then I would keep an eye out, and I'd wait for the cleaning guy to walk down the aisle to go clean. And then after that, I would go use the bathroom.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was like a guaranteed clean bathroom every
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
At work, we have this gender-neutral bathroom, which is just like a regular toilet.
Bathroom, yeah.
It's like a personal one, I guess you could say. Not personal, but like...
Like one of those family bathrooms.
It's
in the
a
mall or
single-seater. It's a single-seater right there. You go in solo, and some of those people at work, man, they will light that thing up. I walked in one time to go pee, and it just smells like death.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I don't know how you could sit in that bathroom and just like hotbox yourself and just...
Well, since it's like gender neutral, it's probably some chick. And
You never know.
you never know who it is. I've had those. Oh my gosh. So Columbia College is the college I go to.
You just said that. Hold on, sorry. My girlfriend's sister, she will straight up destroy a bathroom every time.
She better not listen to this.
I didn't mention any names.
Yeah.
But not every time she comes over, but every once in a while she has to use the bathroom at my house. We literally get into an argument because she doesn't turn the fan on, and it smells so bad. Like, I don't know if that's a girl thing. I mean, obviously, guys can have mean shits too, but she does not have a normal shit.
Well,
every time she shits, it's a mean shit.
Following up after someone in the bathroom is like one of the worst things alive, especially after
we'll
they
be
crap.
I'll be sitting in my living room watching TV, and you will smell this.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's bad. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It is bad.
One of the ones where you try and spray the Lysol and it just ferments and mixes with each other and just makes it
nasty,
worse.
yeah.
I mean,
You need to buy a candle for your bathroom or something.
No,
man.
just turn the fan on, and it sucks fresh air in the bottom of the door, and all your shit goes out the tube and out the house. That's all you have to do. It's that simple.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, man. It sounds complicated. But going back to my story, Columbia College Chicago is the college I go to, and in the building I go to, on the floor, the bathroom is such trash. One of the toilets always floods. And we went by one day, and there was water around the seat. The seat was filled to the top, and there was some floaters, if you know what I mean. There was some floaters, and that was gross. Nastiest thing alive. But continuing on the story, I had to use the bathroom, and I had to pee really bad. So I ran there, peed, but everyone was in a toilet. So I had to go in the stall with the crap toilet where it always just overflows for some odd reason. And I took a pee, and when I flushed the toilet, I shouldn't have. It overflowed, and I ran out that bathroom because there was other people in the stall next to it, and it was flooding over, like literally just nonstop. It was like, the Buckingham Fountain in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was horrible. And I'm pretty sure it got on their shoes, but I didn't want to look. I just ran. I ran.
I think that's the one thing you got to do in that situation. You just got to get out of there.
I booked it, man. There's no way in heck that I was going to stand there and have the constant overflow of just water. But yeah, then just the overflow of water. I mean, it's horrible, man. Having to go to the bathroom is like one of the worst things, especially public bathrooms.
Yeah, at work at least I'm pretty selective of which bathrooms I go to. And there was one time, well, even stalls specifically too. There was one time I had to use the handicap stall, and I was pretty hesitant to use it. And I sit down, and my feet are dangling. This toilet seat is so high up. I was like, wow, I can't even brace myself.
Oh my!
You know, I
So-
will say my parents replaced both the toilets in their house with handicap toilets, so they sit a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But it is so much more comfortable to take a crap at their house.
What about like long toilets? You know, like where they're too long. I've had toilets where they're just too long.
Too long.
Yeah, like the length of them around the, instead of just being a circle or at least a little bit of an elongated circle, it just feels like too long. Where if I sat, I would just slide in the
Have
toilet.
you guys
What?
ever sat
Yeah.
on like a really, really small toilet?
Yeah, yeah. Those are the worst because when you're trying to, like, not to be graphic, but you're trying to wipe and you just got no room, you know?
Mm-hmm. My grandma, she used to live in Whiting, and it's a really old house. I couldn't tell you how old, but they had, I don't know if it was like the original toilet or what, but the thing is small. It's like you're sitting on a coffee can.
Oh my god.
It was tiny. And one time I was using the bathroom and I just wasn't thinking. Like, I sat down and I just let it loose. And
Poor toilet.
it was
Grabbed his phone.
no, it was an immediate splash that just soaked like everything.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
the anything that was part of me that the inside of the bowl could see splash and soaked, and I was like, "Oh my!
You got hit with
Oh,
the tsunami, dude.
old people use this toilet. Nothing against old people, but I was grossed out.
have you ever had
I was
the
I was so happy it was just my grandma's toilet. But can you imagine something like
Public?
that happening at work or at a public?
I've had a splash.
So let me go back to this handicap stall. I'm finished up. I'm getting ready to flush, and this thing turns into like a geyser or something. Water just starts like shooting up.
Oh my
It
gosh.
had, I don't know if it was like the strongest flush or what, but water was like starting to shoot out some places. I'm like, I'm out. I'm running out of there. Wash my hands real quick.
Oh my gosh. You know there's some people that like flush as they're sitting on the seat. Would you ever do that? I would not.
Yeah,
Never. Because
well-
it gets sometimes a splash with a swirl.
Yeah, if I know the bathroom, if I know the toilet's not like that, I'll do it because that's called the courtesy flush, man. You got
Yeah.
You don't want to clog the toilet up. You don't want to stink up the house. You know?
So at my house, my toilet does not splash, so I can reach around and flush it, and I'm not gonna get wet. I know that for a fact.
Have you
But
ever-
in a public restroom or something like that, I am standing up before I flush because, like Junior said, sometimes they're like whoosh, and it goes everywhere.
Oh my god.
Well, have you ever seen? I don't know if it was Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs or if it was Mythbusters. They did a whole blacklight thing, and they showed that like fecal matter just whatever flush it is, fecal matter just like shoots out and just covers the whole bathroom.
Oh yeah, you're not safe from it.
Yeah,
it,
so-
That's so gross.
it doesn't matter if you go to the other stall and flush; you're still gonna get it.
Yeah, so close that toilet seat when you're done.
Jeez, jeez.
Do you guys? One final question about toilet talk here. When you guys use a public restroom or a restroom at work, do you like build a cushion?
Yeah, the paper? Of
I-
course.
I
Ass
always-
gasket? Hell yeah, man.
I always build a cushion on the seat,
Yeah.
and then I always lay a couple of layers in the water just in case it splashes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you ever flooded a toilet at like a friend's house or?
I probably have, but an even funnier story was I was in a restaurant in, I think it was Louisville, and it was this Cuban restaurant. I'm using the bathroom because the food got to me or something, I don't know, and it just clogs. And there is, I walk out, and there is a small guy waiting for me to finish up.
Ooh.
And all he could speak was Spanish, and I was just like, I don't know, the toilet's messed up, it wasn't flushing. And I'm sure this dude had to go because he waited a while I was in there.
He had the walk of shame.
Yeah, and I just left him there to plunge, I guess.
Oh, that's bad.
Dude, that's horrible.
You just reminded me of a story from work. I did not do this, but I was at the customer's house and I witnessed this happen. The customer was working on the plumbing in the basement. So the poop pipe, you know, the big 3-4 inch.
The poop pipe.
Well, that's what I call it.
I
The
like
big,
how it sounds.
the bigger, the big
turd
3
tunnel.
or 4 inch pipe that all your crap flows through out the bottom of the toilet. This guy had that cut and open.
Why?
Okay.
Oh. Was the
I-
water
Oh,
off?
he was working
Was everything
at it,
shut
never mind.
off? Or was
Everything
he was working it live? He was working it hot?
No, they
Oh
they
my
shut the
gosh.
water off,
Hot
but
and
the
spicy.
toilet tank was still full, so it still
Oh.
had one more flush left
Oh
in it.
no.
His kid is using the bathroom, and the dad heard him, so he yells up, "Don't flush the toilet!" And the kid's like,
Ooh,
"Okay, Dad."
Live wire, dude.
Yeah. And this kid had he was sick or something. He had something nasty going on. All of a sudden, I hear the, and I'm just like, "Oh no!" I was putting up a security panel, and I was like, I booked it out of that room as fast as I could, and all of a sudden, you hear it flow down the pipe and just soak the room.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so there's the furnace.
Yeah.
There's a water heater. There's my security panel on the wall, and there's a pipe. It's pointed at my panel that I'm installing. Water just blasts the panel and just soaks the heater, soaks
my
everything.
gosh. You get
And it was
electrocuted
just-
and pooped on.
Oh my god, it was gross because, like I said, the kid was sick or something. Oh my, it was the
terrible.
worst.
It is horrible.
And after he's up on the second floor, the water's got to come down and gain momentum and like pressure, and then it comes out of
no.
that pipe. It exploded out of that pipe. I had to incomplete the job because, of course, I ain't working on that panel. It's covered in shit. That whole room has to be like sanitized and everything. It was so bad.
Wow.
I got a weird poop story. I used to work.
Sorry,
I used to work
listeners.
retail, and I could probably say the place that I used to work at because I don't work there anymore. And it's
You
been
shouldn't
like,
say it.
Oh,
You
well.
shouldn't say the name.
all right, I won't say the name. I'll spare you guys the name of the store. But I used to work retail, and I was training a new guy. New guy came in. I worked in the home department, as they called it, and it was the department, with the pots, pans, and all that jazz. And anyway, so I was showing the guy around. All of a sudden, we had someone run up to us, and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, we just found in the dressing rooms someone crapped in the corner." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, they literally crapped in the corner. And let me tell you, no paper, no even clothing.
Yeah,
at least
not like
wipe.
a dirty shirt or something.
Nothing. It was just no wipe.
They're letting the draws do the work, huh?
They dropped it and they're like, well, maybe my underwear can pick up the slack.
Yeah.
And then they walked away. Again? And the trainee is like, wait, what do you mean again? I'm like, yeah, this is like the fourth time it's happened this year. It happened a few other times. Why are people crapping in the store? I don't know.
Yeah, so apparently that's a normal thing, and I don't understand why either. That's so bad.
Yeah, we would have people just pee in the corner too.
Like the restroom is on the other side of the store.
And it's not a jank store. I could, for me to put that out there at least, it's not a jank store for it to be. It shouldn't be a common place for people having to pee or
Yeah,
just poop.
I know where Justin used to work, and if I was in the area, that store was like my choice place to go.
Yeah.
If I needed to go.
Oh, it was so bad. I don't know why anyone would have done that. Ugh.
Maybe they used the clothes they tried on to wipe off.
That's what I.
That's
was
what I
asking.
thought. No, there was no clothes. Nothing left there.
I mean,
Well, there was clothes hung up, but no fecal matter.
Yeah.
No bacon. No bacon stain or bacon strips.
Yeah, that's what they call it, bacon strips, skid
My bad.
marks.
Yeah. Ugh, that's so gross.
well, thankfully you didn't have to find a pair of clothes and clean that. That would have been.
Oh, I didn't touch that. They didn't even pay me enough to even want to clean that. I just wanted to know the story.
I got a pretty bad story, and it's another one where I can't. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm not going to mention where I used to work. But they were having septic problems, and it was affecting a few of the businesses in the area. And we just happened to be one of them. The sewage was backing up, and then it was coming out the floor drain in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So when you flush the toilet or you turn the sink on, it would start bubbling up out of the drain. And this was multiple businesses. Like, it was a main line that was messed up and getting clogged. They cook food at this place,
Ooh.
and the storage room is in the back of the store across from the bathroom. So there's food supplies, there's cleaning supplies, there's, everything this store needs in the back room. It backs up really bad a few times and flooded the bathroom and flooded most of the storage room with sewage.
That is nasty.
Oh my gosh.
And my manager comes up to me and he says, "Hey, we need to get this cleaned up." I looked at my manager and told her straight to her face, "You do not pay me enough.
I
You
think
are
I know.
calling someone in to come clean this."
I think I know where you worked at.
You should know.
Yeah, I know.
I can't say the name
Wow.
That's
on the
horrible.
podcast.
Wow.
That is horrible.
I'm glad I don't go there.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Now, I will say the kitchen supplies weren't on the floor, but some of them that were in the same room.
Ugh, that's
Splash,
so gross.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything would have splashed, but everything was on shelves, not stored on the floor.
When you were talking about the Amazon bathroom and them having a button, now think about it. They have a button to clean the toilets. So imagine how much the toilets get just so ruined. I just started thinking about that.
Yeah.
You know,
that they
I
had to
don't know.
install a button.
I don't know because I've never walked into there with a dirty bathroom. Even when I go in there and press the button to go back to my station, it wasn't like nothing
Oh,
looked
so you're
gross.
just being a douche at that point.
Well, nothing looked really gross before I used the bathroom, so I pressed the button anyway, just to have a nice clean restroom.
Yeah, but you wanna clean poo. You know, you don't wanna go in a bathroom and have the chance for it to be real nasty.
Well, I mean, you could go in and check.
If you
and
had the
it's-
option, I mean, I would clean it. You know, if I had the option, I'd have him clean it.
I don't know. I just feel bad about that guy having
I guess it
keep
would-
coming to this bathroom and cleaning it.
Yeah.
If it's not even that nasty.
He filled out the application to be a janitor.
That's true.
That's what he wanted to do.
But what if he had other work to do and now you distracted him from his work just to
His-
make him clean a clean bathroom?
His job is to clean.
He got you there. I don't know.
know.
I mean, I get the
Well, his
courtesy.
job is to clean, but he's got other things to clean besides this one bathroom.
I may have pressed this button once every shift. So it's not like it was, hey, I got to take a dump every hour.
Technically, Tyler was just doing everyone a favor by cleaning that toilet.
Right.
So, you know what?
Whatever, I
This
don't
one, I would say hats off to Tyler.
And I never made a mess in the bathroom and then pressed it on my way out for him to come and clean it.
Yeah, that
So
would've
I never
been
did
horrible.
that to him. But once a
Well,
shift, I did press the button to have
Isn't
a
that
clean
the
bathroom.
point of the button? Is if you mess up the toilet for it to come get cleaned?
Well, he never,
I guess
purposely-
that would be the point of the button, but I've never made a mess.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, he was courteous in his bathroom.
So
tidings.
you're allowing someone else to come in after you, but you can't go in after someone else.
Ooh, then the
I mean,
plot
if there's pee on the toilet seat or it smells bad, then no, I'm not
I
going to
really
use
don't.
it.
I really don't get this whole thing with the pee on the toilet seat. It's like, come on, man, just grab some toilet paper, wipe it up, get on with your day.
Pick the seat up.
Well, even if you don't pick the seat up, because sometimes I'll just go in and just pee, whatever.
Yeah.
If you get a little drop on the seat, sometimes it's just like the water splashing back. And
Well,
it
yeah,
hits
think
the
about
toilet
it.
seat.
You got a stream falling into a bowl of water. It's going to splash. Even
Yeah.
at my house and most places I use the bathroom, I wipe the seat off
Yeah,
after.
That's why we
because
do the
it's-
paper covering, you know?
Yeah, it's your guy who
Paper
will
covering?
splash.
Yeah, like, you know how they have that paper cut out of the toilet seat?
So you put that on when you pee?
Oh, no, not when I pee. I thought you were just saying, oh, yeah, no, I don't. I lift it up, but I grab
And
a paper.
and another
lift
thing,
it.
I always wondered, like at a urinal, you point at the urinal.
Yeah, those are gross.
How is there always a puddle
Oh,
under
yeah.
the urinal? And how is the side of the urinal, like not the front side, like the side, you would have to like pee on the wall to get your pee there.
And who is ripping out their pubes and sprinkling it on
Oh,
this
yeah.
urinal?
Yeah, that's gross. I don't know how they get all that hair on there. That's so nasty. Man, bathrooms are sick. Okay. One last bathroom question for you guys. Paper, up or down when you're putting the toilet paper on? Are
Paper,
you guys...
up or down?
Yeah, so like is the toilet roll coming from the top or is it coming from
Oh,
underneath?
top.
We do underneath in this household.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Mine's always the top. Because when I reach over, the loose piece is hanging down the front, not the back. So either you put your hand on top and you scoop it up with your thumb and then you can pull the toilet paper, or it's hanging off the front already and you just scoop it real quick. However, if it's on the back and let's say it's rolled to the back of the roll, now you're like, where's the end of this paper? And you're searching for it.
I mean, I guess you're right, but I don't know. We've just always done it that way. Why? I was raised. I was put there. Okay, I didn't choose it.
You didn't choose that life?
Yeah, no, I was raised in that life.
All right.
Easy access, my friend.
I got one for you guys.
Yeah.
How many squares? No, I'm just kidding. No, let's get out of this.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about how's the weather. You know what? It is pretty rainy. Kind of makes me think of that one time where we're heading to a concert, me, you, and Sam.
Oh my
me,
gosh.
Justin, and Sam, I should say.
Yeah, we're driving to Chicago.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Like I do kind of forget how it necessarily came about.
I know how it all happened. So there's this whole situation when you're driving. If you're in a turn, you either want to keep on the gas or you want to keep on the brake, because if you switch, you're going to throw the weight off. So we're driving on this, I think it was an exit.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just felt like the car behind me was too close. So I just kept going. And then I was like, wait, I'm going a little too fast. And next thing you know, my car just slides. And I probably did a 180 at this point on this exit.
Yeah, it was like a Tokyo drift. And then Sam just got so pissed off. And we all just got pissed off at him. We're like, Junior, what the heck is going on? I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. In the back seat, I'm like... I'm swaying like crazy, and I was like, this seatbelt's a bit loose.
If you even have one on, did you have one on?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
You probably did it.
I don't think I did, because I was sitting in the back talking to you and Sam.
I always, no matter what, wear my seatbelt.
I mean, yeah, wear your seatbelt, guys. But I mean, I was sitting in the back. I think I was in the middle talking to you two guys with my hands on the seat, like, yeah, so how's it going, We're just jazzing it up, and then all of a sudden we just
slide, man.
Start, going out of control. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
So you guys are probably talking about Halo, and I just ruined it with my drifting.
Yeah,
I miraculously got it back. I took the wrong turn. I was supposed to take a right instead of the left, but that was just because I was so distraught, and I was on the other side of the road at this point.
So I have a similar story to that. Actually, almost about the same thing happened. I'm on Route 8, and I'm merging onto 65.
Route 8 or Route 6?
Route 8.
Oh, so you're like more south?
Yeah. Well, anyway, coming up the ramp. This ramp is a little bit tighter, and the road's wet. It's raining. And traffic is coming up, and no one's coming out. No one's, letting me... there's no room for me to come on and merge. So I'm like, all right, I'll hit the gas a little bit just to come in a little faster so I can scoot right in with traffic. The back end of my truck just immediately kicks out. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh, shit. And cars are coming. They're doing 65 miles an hour. I counter steer. And I don't know if it was I didn't crash, so apparently I did the right thing. I counter steer to the left because my ass end of the truck's going left. And all of a sudden, I'm sliding across. There's 2 lanes of traffic. I slid across both lanes right in front of a bunch of people. And at the moment I noticed my truck starting to drift into traffic, I floored it because I need to get out of the way of these people. That was the absolute wrong decision. Because it made my truck drift more. So I was like, I got the wheel pinned to the left, 45 degrees off of the traffic. My truck's drifting towards the center wall of the highway, and I'm just like, whoa! And then all of a sudden, I catch a dry spot, and my truck starts catching grip, and I just peel out and rip onto the highway, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't crash. I got both hands on the wheel, white knuckles, and I'm like, holy shit.
You gotta have been afraid.
Oh, dude, I was terrified. I thought I was going to get hit by traffic behind me, just rear-ended at 65 miles an hour. But I slid right into traffic, and I got right up to speed. Nothing happened. At that point, I was like, damn, that was an awesome drift. But in the moment, I was literally terrified.
Bro, that's
5 minutes after, I was like, shit, I wish I could do that again, but plant.
Don't let Justin fool you, though. He's got a couple funny car stories of his own. I think Taco Bell is the funniest one for me.
I was thinking about that when he said a couple of stories, too.
I was waiting for it to come up. I thought he was going to tell.
Well,
He must be too embarrassed.
it is embarrassing for. Okay, so I was coming back from school
In
one day.
Justin's defense, he was a somewhat of a new driver.
Well, I guess it was a year in. I finally had my license. I was driving previously before that with permit, obviously. But I was coming back from college. I was hungry. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop off at Taco Bell. Because Taco Bell is cheap. And I wasn't making a lot of money at the time.
Stalling on the story.
So, anyway, I pull into, Taco Bell. I eat. I enjoy my meal. Now it's time for me to leave.
Back then, you really loved Taco Bell.
Because I used to hate Taco Bell, and then I just found a love for it. And I was like, this is pretty good. Why is everyone saying it's horse meat and all this crazy jazz? I was like, whatever.
If they're using horse meat or something else at Taco Bell, whatever, because it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Seasoned well.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So anyway, I eat my meal. I'm finished. I get in my car. It's time to leave. Now, the Taco Bell is right next to one of the schools out in this area, which is Lake Central. But it's a tiny little parking lot for that Taco Bell. And now you got kids coming out from high school, and they're all walking. And I wanted to make sure, that pulling out, you do the kind and courteous thing and you don't hit anyone. So I pull out, and I was like, okay, well, how do I get out of this parking lot? I'm confused. And I was like, you know what? I'll just go around the Taco Bell. So I turn in. And as I turn in to go around the Taco Bell, turns out I was going through the drive-thru. And it was the opposite end. It was the opposite end of the drive-thru. How I found that out, me and this car were facing each other. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm going to back up. So I start backing up. This lady starts recording me on her phone.
Wow.
Yeah, as I'm backing up. I guess because it was awkward or funny or something. So I'm backing up. Again, high school students are out. So I start looking around my shoulder. And as I'm looking over my shoulder, I turn my wheel a little bit too far right when I'm in reverse. And so my car, as I turned to, for some reason I decided to push on the gas. And as I pushed on the gas and turned too far right because I was turning my body to look out the window, my whole car shifted into a Taco Bell sign.
Thank you.
And it smacked the sign, slightly turned it to, it was slightly crooked. And my trunk, my spoiler on my car just snapped off. My trunk shifted. And I get out my car and I was like, oh my gosh. And I tried closing my trunk. My trunk lifts back open because it had hit so bad. And then the Taco Bell manager comes out. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just stupid. And so I throw what's left of my spoiler into the back of my car. And I rip it out of there. And now forever and always, my car has a purple stain from the Taco Bell sign. And how ironic is this that one of the only Mexicans that was there that day ran into the Taco Bell sign.
Man, giving us a bad name.
It was horrible. I was so bad. I'm like, oh, my people are not smiling upon me.
But hey, your dad really MacGyvered that thing.
Oh yeah, he fixed it the same day.
Justin's dad has the nickname Master Mechanic for a reason.
That's true, very true.
He had told us, or he had told me, he's like, well, I hope you know you're going to fix it. And I said, okay. I hit up Tyler. I was like, hey, we got to fix this. He's like, yeah, we'll take it over to my uncle's or whatnot. And turns out I woke up the next morning. My dad's like, I fixed it. I was like, oh my gosh. I said I was going to fix it. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Me and Tyler actually have a few car stories. For every time me and Tyler are in a vehicle together, something weird just happens.
It's not it's me and Justin get in the car. Either we get stopped by a train, traffic, takes us really long to get somewhere, or everyone on the road is out to get us where they want to try to crash into us.
Yeah.
So me and Justin, we just try not to drive together.
Yeah, and we're magnets for some sort of, I guess, cars. They just want to hit us, or weird stoplights that just don't want to work. Like one time, for instance, me and Tyler were driving. We usually stood on the phone while we drive. And we're coming from college.
Separate cars, right?
Yeah, separate cars. We're coming from Ivy Tech, and he was going to head over to my house, or either way, we're heading the same way, taking these back roads. And I guess there was an accident way ahead, and we didn't know. And I guess someone wanted to turn right. Was it? So it was something like, or they just stopped in the middle of the road. And I'm talking on the phone with Tyler. All of a sudden, I hear Tyler's like, "Yeah, you know what?" And then he cuts out. And then all of a sudden, I see his car turn right. And it took me a while to realize that he turned right to dodge this car. And I'm heading straight forward too. And I was like, "Oh, crap, crap, crap." And so we like pretty much drifted around this vehicle, and because we were so close to hitting it. And then all of a sudden, like, you hear fumbling, and Tyler's like, "I'm back, but what the hell was that?"
So I'm driving, and I just like, phone's on speaker, so I'm just kind of holding it in my hand, and I got the left hand up on the wheel. All of a sudden, I just drop the phone, grab the wheel with both hands, and I just rip it around this car. Just Justin had no warning because I didn't say, "Hey, look out." I dropped my phone.
That was so upsetting. I was like, "What is going on here, man?" That was funny though too.
Yeah, even this past Friday the 13th. Hold on.
Friday the 13th.
You know, everybody was just driving so ridiculously. I just realized I use ridiculous a lot in these podcasts, but it's okay. I'm rolling with it.
A lot of stuff is ridiculous.
We'll put it on a shirt.
Yeah. But yeah, I probably almost got hit a handful of times driving to the movie theater because that's when we went to the movies to see it.
On Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and it makes me so scared because I just bought my motorcycle and you really start to notice things and you're like, wow, why did I decide to buy this? This is
Nobody here pays attention.
No one.
No, they don't. They just drive like, I don't know, they drive like madmen or women.
Just flying over potholes, shattering tires, and just...
Some people,
like, okay, when we were in high school, we could get in my car and we could, I don't know, let's say take a 15-minute drive. If you want to take that same 15-minute drive today, you're going to be in traffic for like half an hour. And you're probably going to dodge like 3 cars.
Definitely.
Or you're going to be looking up in your rearview mirror like, oh, is he going to rear end me or not? You know, you're on your toes. Whereas in high school, you just drove. It's so bad now.
Yeah, I don't get, people just don't pay attention to the roads anymore.
No. Cell phones, man.
Yeah.
Affecting our lives even more.
Do you at all? I Snapchat and drive. I'm gonna put that out there.
Oh, that is terrible, man.
I know. My friend was telling me, she's like, "Why are you snapping me while you're driving?" I was like, "Yes."
I will tell you what. I have a standard transmission, and getting into an automatic, it's like, what do I have nothing to do. I'm just holding the steering wheel, and it's like,
yeah.
All right, here's my phone.
Yeah, the phone just slides up and you just start scrolling.
Oh, I don't do all that.
Yeah, no. I Snapchat and drive. That's at least I do, and I text and drive. I'm not gonna lie.
I am not good at using my phone while I drive.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I try
know.
to do it as least as possible. Because let's say, okay, I'm looking straight. Get a text message. Phone's over here on my right. If I look right, my car drifts right. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh! So you're the type that, like, wherever you turn to look, you kind of just move that way.
Yeah, like sometimes it just goes like a little bit. So I just try not to do it. And then, say, I don't know, it's an important text at work. You know, my boss says, hey, don't text and drive. But then my boss also, like, you don't reply to his message within 5 minutes. He texts you again or he calls you. It's like, bro, I'm driving. So I pick up the phone and now I'm like reading, so I let off the gas a little bit.
Oh my
So I slow down like a little bit. Usually I'm using my cruise control because in the van that we drive, it's GPS monitored all the time. So if you're speeding, you're not going fast enough, you ran a stop sign, you brake too hard, you accelerate too fast, the van literally sends an email and they know all your driving records.
That's crazy.
So you have to be on your toes to make sure you're doing everything right. So when I'm in the van, I usually got cruise control, and that doesn't happen that much. But every once in a while, I let off the gas, and it slows down. Oh, shoot, my cruise went on.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever since getting my manual transmission, it's just I hardly lift up my phone because you really got to think about what's happening around you, so you can prepare if you need a downshift or upshift or something.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like that's another thing that should be taught to kids is let them start off on manual transmission so they're really focused on the road.
Yeah, I kind of wish I learned on manual.
I don't know if it's true, but here in the United States, you go take a written test, and then they give you your license. Well, they give you your permit.
Yeah.
At that moment, you are allowed to sit in a car with someone of age and drive it, knowing nothing.
Yeah.
That's wrong. If you ask me.
Not knowing how the gas or the brake works. I remember the first time I sat in the car, I just pressed the brake, but I didn't know you had to be gradual about it. So we're just whipping our necks.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I've always been on 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, go-karts. I've driven cars when I was 10 or 12 years old. I've always known how to drive. So when I got my permit, my mom gave me the keys and I drove straight home with no problems. But not everyone is like that.
No, definitely not.
No.
Even go-karts, the brakes are always faded or you're not being gradual with those brakes. You're slamming them and just...
Right. But I can't remember if it was Europe. I don't know. I can't remember what country. But you actually had to take a class and understand how your car works. And you actually had to understand how to do basic maintenance to your car.
Oh,
this
wow.
was all a part of what you had to do before you could get your permit.
That's cool.
I like that.
We need something like that here. Okay, you blow a tire, this is what you do to put your spare on.
Yeah.
Or, before we give you your permit, you have to take this little driving course, and we have to explain to you how all the instruments in the car work.
That would be amazing.
Well, someone has told me, I don't know if they read it or they came up with themselves, but cars nowadays are keeping the stupid people inside them safes and not keeping stupid people outside the cars. Yeah, we have all this driving assistance and all that. It's good, but at the same time, it's not going to improve anyone's driving.
Yeah, it's are we
Right.
really going to go to a society where we're not using vehicles? Or
Okay,
driving vehicles anymore?
one of Ford's F-150s, I forgot how many feet it was, but say the truck's going, I think they said 45 miles an hour, and a person walks out in front of it, it can bring that truck all the way down to a dead stop on its own before you hit that person.
Wow.
That's a great feature to have.
Yeah, the
Because,
Q7's a bit
But
Let's say you're driving, someone goes out on a crosswalk, and you didn't see him or you weren't paying attention because of your phone or something.
yeah, you should
the
really
truck
be
can
paying
stop.
attention to the road.
But at the same time, when you know your car has those features and you're a new driver or you just
Yeah.
don't know a whole
Yeah,
lot
you're gonna
about
rely
cars,
on it.
you're kind of depending on what you know your car does. What if it doesn't work?
That's true.
It's not guaranteed. It's just
Electrical
a
components
feature.
always fail, and that's what it is. It's an electrical component. You just
Because
rely on radar or something.
On the front of the truck, that's what it is. It's some kind of radar proximity sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What if you got a bad ground and that sensor went out?
that'd have been horrible.
Then you're just going to mow that person over.
Yeah, the Q7 actually has that, where it has the multi-sensors for the Audi Q7. And it has the ones in the front and ones in the back, and it will come completely to a dead stop if you're not noticing the individual either behind you or in front of you.
Yeah, or some cars, they actually have, where if you're on the highway, when you're coming up, let's say someone comes in your lane, but they're not going as fast as you, your car will actually slow itself down before you hit them.
Yeah.
Or we actually have the cars that drive themselves now. They're not everywhere. They're only in select areas.
Like California
But
with
What-
Google, right?
what happens if one of those cars fail?
Mayhem. Complete mayhem.
I mean,
you know?
you're even if it's one of those fancy high technology cars that might be lightweight and everything, it's still you weigh at least 1,500 pounds minimum. If 1,500 pounds is going 60 miles an hour and something goes wrong, it's guaranteed to crash.
I agree. Yeah.
And if anyone's ever seen a bad car accident, you know what weight does at certain speeds.
Jeez.
The cars are going to crumble. People can die. Terrible things can happen. All
Well-
because a sensor went out.
With that said,
With that said, it's time to come to a close.
All right, guys, we're closing out for the day. I want to ask you guys something. Can you please give us a follow? It's free. It's free, guys. You're not losing anything. Give us a follow on SoundCloud. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter. It's at the Amateur Hour _. Again, guys, one more time. It's at the Amateur Hour _. Give us a follow on Twitter. Leave a comment on the podcast. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Did you like the toilet talk or not? If you didn't, that's A-okay. But any words from you guys?
Lofty Cat Studios.
Yes, go give Lofty Cat Studios a follow and thank them for sponsoring us. You can find them over on Facebook and Twitter, as well as Instagram at GCBoyMusic. Again, that is at GCBoyMusic. Give them a follow. Thank you for listening, and we are out.